How's everyone doing today? Freak Boy, Chell, Voyager, Red Panda, Theo. This one can play
Freak
Artium.
Boy,
Chell. How's it going? Got to turn that audio off there. Chell, you're looking forward to the new Command Battle Cruiser? I honestly don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Bridger, how's it going? Atraz, August. Would really want an Intel carrier. I think you're going to be waiting a long time for that, Voyager. Okay, so the first thing I want to take a look at on the stream here is the unreleased project that Cryptic was working on. There was a lot of people that, for various reasons, legitimately believed that Cryptic was working on a STO 2, and that could not be further from the truth from what we're seeing. So I do want to bring this up here quick. This popped up on LinkedIn earlier. I found it when just checking up, seeing if there's any changes over there. And I saw Nick, Tumor Boy, had reposted something from one of the people that had been laid off. And that person, Joe Jing, had put up some stuff over on ArtStation related to the now canceled project that Cryptic was working on. Lord Bane, Steven, Scuba Steve, how's it going? Yeah, so this game was clearly not Star Trek Online 2 like people were thinking it would be. This game was meant to have a classic 80s to 90s theme based on Disney and Don Bluth's Dragon's Lair. I'm not really familiar with that stuff, but there are some nice graphics you can take a look at here from that game, including some gameplay footage. This isn't the type of game that I personally would be into, but this is what Cryptic was working on, and this is what Embracer has now apparently canceled, judging by what they're talking about on LinkedIn. So I'll include links to this in the description. So here's one of the bosses from the game, and you can see the art style that game had. There's also another post going over some of the player characters from that game. So, like I said, not necessarily an art style that I'm personally that into, but I imagine this is an art style that definitely has a good audience that would have liked to have a game like this. So I'll include links to all of this in the description. So let me get them added there quick. So yeah, here's the some of the boss footage again, like some of the gameplay from that game. I'll get that here quick. Edit. The thing with the reason I was always against the idea of like STO 2 being something that they were working on is because the vibe that I get from them is they don't want to necessarily revisit things that they've worked on. They want to work on new projects because they think that their existing projects, like Stowe, Neverwinter, there's no need to do a version 2 of those when the existing version is still pulling in money. So I just never thought it made sense that Cryptic would be working on a Stowe 2. Fix now, canceled, released game. Get the other one here. There we go. Those are in the description. If you want to see them yourself, just refresh and it'll be in the description of the stream. And again, this is the now one of the now canceled projects that Cryptic had been working on. Let me bring chat over just to take a look at things here quick. I did fall a little bit behind. Star Wars MMO, obviously, terrible. Morning, Spencer. Can you make another video of having 50 plus alts and the psychological ramifications of that? The reason I did that video yesterday was because I'm working on a series of videos that are going to have long-term relevance, explaining how to get different currencies in the game and how to interact with those currencies. I understand that not many people are going to actually be interested in doing dilithium farming on, more than a handful of characters, but the point is to get that information out there for the people that do care about it. I think that's one of those things, like, you just present the information and it's up to the viewer to decide how far they want to take that information. Nice Gorn. Look at that Gorn design, yeah. Looks like Genshin Impact style, gotcha, because of course it does, yeah. Steel, how's it going? Arden. Star Trek Online has a 50% off lifetime subscription. Is it still worth it at this point? The thing is with the lifetime sub, like, there is still viable reasons to get it, but I think one of the main things with the lifetime sub that I would say is how long have you been playing the game? If you're a brand new player and you have only been playing Stowe for a handful of months, I wouldn't go for it. But if you've been playing Stowe for more than half a year, you're fine with the content release cycle. You're fine with what the end game of this game is like, which is that there is no end game. If you're fine with that and you've been playing the game for a long time and you want to keep playing it, then the lifetime during the 50% discount on PC can make sense. Keep in mind that if you're on console, you don't get the full lifetime subscription like you do on PC. Over on console, the lifetime subscription is cheaper because you don't get the Zen stipend. On PC, the Zen stipend gets you 500 Zen back every single month on the date that you had purchased the lifetime sub in that month. So if you bought the lifetime sub on the 11th, then I think it's every 11th of every month you would get 500 Zen. If you're on PC and you intend to play the game for several years, then sure. But, given recent events, it's certainly probably not the best time to pick up the lifetime sub. Again, there is going to be another lifetime sub sale here, most likely at the end of January or at the worst at the beginning of March. I think this is one case where, unless you are absolutely certain you're going to be playing the game long term and you really want all the extra slots that the lifetime offers, I think this is one of those times where you'd probably just want to hold off, see how things develop over the next half year. Because that's a lot of money to drop on something that the immediate impact from the lifetime sub is basically just that it gets you so many extra slots. Like that is one of the main reasons to go for the lifetime, is the extra slots and then that Zen stipend. And I think for someone that's brand new, you're better off just picking up like a $150 bundle or something, like a legendary bundle during a sale that's got a bunch of ships in it, because the lifetime bundle here, or lifetime subscription, does have ships with it, but they're all the same ship. It's just a different skin for each faction. So it's 4 ships, but they're effectively the same ship, just with the unique features that each faction has. I don't know. I think there are reasons to still consider the lifetime sub, but I think this is probably not the time to pick it up. And yeah, long term, 4+ years, yeah. Picard, how's it going? Kingdom Hearts, yeah. And no problem, Brandon. Yeah. I have 1.1k worth of Zen. Yeah, so the Deluxe backlog is there, but it's still less than a week from what I understand. Valerie, how's it going? Do I think that the Lifetime is going to get updated? I get the feeling that there might be something coming for it next year. And if they do, like any big changes to the Lifetime, they will probably do a sale alongside that. Like when I think when they put in the extra slots, when they increased the amount of slots that you could get from Lifetime back in 2022, I think they did a sale at the same time. Or pretty close to it, yeah. So I mean, worst case, you just hold off until March and see just what happens. See what happens with the game, see how the anniversary event is, and make your decision then. Golden, yeah. 3 to 4 days, yep. That's in line with what I've heard. Okay, let's head in game here. I haven't done any of my dailies or anything yet today. Stuka, how's it going? Romulan squirrel noises? No. Legendary Chimera as the new LTS ship? Yeah. The issue is if they do that, people aren't going to be happy about, they would have to do versions for the other couple ships. What res is that desktop background? This picture? Let me see what. So this is a 4K monitor, but that picture is like just massive. So let me find it. Let's see. Waldo, how's it going? Yeah, let me find that quick. Stow screenshots. Yeah, so the raw pictures, the raw pictures that I did there for that inquiry, those were half a gig. So what was the actual like resolution? Doesn't even tell me. I think they were render scale 5 or 6 pictures at 4K. I don't remember. I don't remember which one is which. That's not it. Legendary Avenger 5. What? Properties, details. Okay, so the resolution on that picture is 10K by 5.7. It's a high res pic. I think the Inquiry's always been a good looking ship, and now the updated model for it with that better deflector, it's quite nice. This is the background or like the picture that I'm probably going to be using for the thumbnail whenever I do like a build video for the Legendary Avenger. I don't know when that's going to happen though. Hey Wolves, how's it going, man? Cutout, no, but let me find it here. I worked on a background or like a thumbnail picture for the Legendary Avenger review. That's it. Yeah, so this one is overlaid. And I made this a long time ago. I did that October 5th. I did that thumbnail and I haven't like had any progress on getting that review done. Just gotta start putting in some there. What's the T6 Sovereign called? Well, there's a few different variants. I think I have the legendary one here. Where is it? Like it's just like legendary, miracle worker, sovereign. And you have too many ships. Did I go over it already? Okay, there we go. Yeah, legendary miracle worker, assault cruiser. And I've got the Imperial skin on it just because that's always the skin that I've liked on the Sovereign Insto, was just this really armored appearance for it. Archon. Oh, for the Sea Storer? Yeah. Yeah, but I really like the Imperial skin on it. And then I don't remember what I had here. Might have been like Type AP. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a stream tomorrow, I believe. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it also on my side, but there's gonna be like a panel discussion between myself, Goss, Triz, and probably McStud. Triz will definitely be streaming it. I know Stu will probably record it from his point of view, so that he can clip parts from it to do a video. I have messages. Chell. No, I don't know what Chell is talking about, Voyager. Terrible. Will the stream be in the evening? Yes, I believe so. Axel, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, for the most part, the layoffs were not targeted at, at the Stowe side of things. Stowe did get um, a hit with the QA team getting partially hit, and some of the artists that worked on Stowe in the past and maybe contributed here or there while working on other projects. They did also get hit, but I mean, for the most part, like I said, Stowe's not going anywhere. The layoffs weren't targeted at Stowe. So Happy Goss is back. That whole news about Cryptic being moved under the new publisher gave me a lot of hope. I don't think it's going to do anything, to be honest. I think the entire deck of games thing, I think it's all pretty much a bunch of nothing. It's just that Cryptic has to be placed under a publisher, and under every publisher Cryptic has been under for the past several years, they acted independently. And I expect that to continue with what's going on right now. I just don't think there's going to be any change, like any major changes for Stowe. Content is still going to be released at the pace that you're currently seeing content being developed at. Terrible. Not short, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for the offer, though. Yeah, I did see that the Muds Market did have the Mir Gagarin. There's also apparently a partial Mud sale going on right now. So the space items, ground items are on a sale right now. Well, actually, just the space items. The ground items aren't. Bundles aren't. The ships aren't. And the Mir Gagarin, I think, did get pulled. I think that's what they took the game down for the other day. Maybe a new website. I don't know if they're gonna go that far. They're gonna say. With the Muds Market, I imagine we're gonna have the additions next week. I think next week overall is going to be very jam packed with news compared to this week. Getting that news video done yesterday, or yeah, was it no 2 days ago? Getting that news video done on Thursday was a bit difficult because there was basically nothing like blog wise to talk about. The lifetime sale, which this is like the worst time for there to be a lifetime sale, and then everything else is from the prior week, so you can still see the mirror on a Fed character. Let me check. Okay, Fed character. Kathy, thank you for the $5. Very much appreciated. Spencer, has there been any mention yet on the winner ship? No comment. Yeah, I did hear about the Mir Gagarin showing up over on console. Okay, Muds Market ships. No, I don't see it here either. They must have pulled it. Did we get any new event ship this year? There was not a fall event ship. It's in the all tab. Oh, am I blind? It's still there on PlayStation. From what I've heard, it does sound like the cat charm might be being added to Muds next week. Yeah, you wouldn't buy the Mud ships. You don't buy anything in the Mud store or just anything in general with Stowe. I think one of the most important things to know if you're a new player, especially, is you do not buy things in Stowe unless there's a sale active. That is like rule number 1. Shush. Which was the winner ship again? Rydia, yes. So when it comes to videos, let me there was one that I was working on, and I was going to do this before the video that I released yesterday, but this video will still happen. It's going to be the lithium exchange guide. So like this will probably be the next resource one, and then I am also going to be covering things like energy credits, fleet credits, just the basic ways to acquire the resources and the best ways to like utilize some of them. Looking at it right now, terrible. I don't know what you're talking about, Sor. That's just a random ship. I don't know what you're talking about. Still on PlayStation feed, the Mir Gagarin. Hoping for the Mir Kumarke set, but I'm guessing that's next year most likely. Do I know how long till the next ship bundle sale will be? I don't know. But there will be sales at Black Friday, so 2 weeks from now, there is going to be like sales going on for a week. So there will be at least a 20% Zen charge bonus, 25% off everything in the C store. It won't be the best sale for bundles, most likely, but the combo alongside the Zen charge bonus will counter that, or you can just pick up the Zen at Black Friday and then wait until there is another bundle sale. Still backlog about 1.2 mil and going down. Spencer, please no more. Need to get more people to buy Phoenix packs. That's a mistake I made too. Last week I did a stream to recap the news rather than a video. And I did that as sort of an experiment, but that was probably the worst possible time for me to do that because that news video or that news stream ended up having drastically less reach than what a traditional video would do. So when it comes to like doing news videos for streams, I might still talk about the news on streams, but the news videos must continue. Mir Kamarke ground set is amazing to the point of almost being broken. Yeah. It's good for alts. I don't use it a ton personally, but I don't really do much ground. Cheops, terrible. Yeah, imagine that the ship that leaked a year ago ends up being the winner ship. That would never happen. Fall buff when? I'm not aware of any fall buffs incoming. Need to complain more. Yeah, I've seen the picture, Voyager. I've seen the Mirror Universe Gagarin in the C store. Could I look at a ship that certainly has no relevance in the near future in game? Terrible, Ed. Terrible. I don't have any gambling to do today, but I can share some gambling I did in Warships. Heart icon is popping a lot. Over in Warships, I decided to open some of the Black Friday crates. The first one I got free from an event gave me the Awami B, and then every single one of the Black Friday containers since then has been just garbage. Need to do some stow gambling. Throw a Maelstrom build together for fun. You can delete the icon from the stream settings. Oh, did I miss that? Let's see. I can turn on timestamps apparently. Actually, the timestamps probably aren't a bad idea. I don't know if that does it for everyone though. Okay, let's do some content. Yeah, that news is never good. Head over to casual here. Choose a different ship. Let's do something different build wise today. Let's see. I got a bunch of the T6X experimental ship upgrade tokens from the recent Phoenix event. I popped about 50 of them, and I have went through and already upgraded several ships. So let's bring out something different or do something a little bit different than what I've been doing recently. Manticore upgrade. Zen as Severance package. Oof. Okay, do I have that on this character? I think I did actually pick it up the other day. I have not used the Manticore in a while. And I don't remember what the name is. Carl? There we go. It's the Carl. Now I'll upgrade it. Technically, the Jemadar version of this is the best one because it does actually have the Jemadar wingman. But I will go with this one because this is the one that got the new skin. So what do I do here? Here's the question for you guys. Do I set this up with a torp boat, cannon boat, beam boat? What do you guys want? Friendship, ship parts, trading console are good for carrier. Yeah, they're good for carriers. And is it possible to? Yeah, you can make the friendship work in elite content. Like anything can work in elite content. It's a matter of how you build it and how you fly it. EPG, cannon boat, torp boat, drain boat, turrets, mines, rainbow beam build, all beams, Excelsior console, phaser lotus, and phaser lance. Might as well take advantage of that command seat. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals though here. Go for torpedoes. I need to do straw pull because you guys are throwing mixed signals all over the place here. On a second. Option, beam. It's not really an EPG boat. So I guess the question is beam, cannon, or torpedo. I'm dropping the link in chat here. Go ahead and vote. I don't have the Manticore straight unlocked. Do a 2023 winter ship setup. Terrible, Ed. I want to see what people want. $10 votes so far. Beam is winning overwhelmingly. I can't believe people would vote for beams. What's the fastest way to level up 20 captains? Get to level 12 and then spam a ton of research assignments. You can get to level 12 by doing some patrols with like a Jem'Hadar Vanguard ship that has the wingman mechanic, because those wingmen will just obliterate content at that low level. Yeah, beams is winning. Okay. You guys like beams. I think my issue with torp boats is that I'm sort of tired of them. And it will just keep in mind, with torp boats, it was just like the past 3 years dominated by torp boats. Okay, phaser. So you guys want beam array, so you want. Here's a question: do I have beams tack consoles? I do not. The thing is to keep in mind, and I've said this a couple times in the past, is that like the rainbow builds actually don't. It doesn't hurt if you're doing a rainbow build. Like, you are losing a little bit of Cat 1 by using the beams or cannons consoles instead of the specific damage type. But the reason that you see high-end players recommend people don't do rainbow setups is because that's advice targeted at new players. People that don't understand what they're doing in the game yet, that don't understand how to build a ship. You want them to focus on, optimizing for one thing while they're getting into things. But like actually doing a rainbow build, not actually as bad as it's been made out to be. Yeah, I mean on SOB I'm running a rainbow cannon scatter volley build, and I've shown that on stream multiple times. It gets through things perfectly well and probably does more damage than most of the people saying rainbow builds are bad. If it's full phaser, does it rainbow? I don't have, unfortunately, on this character, I do not have the plus beams consoles, so I am going to focus on phaser. I do actually have to get the phaser lotus console off of the non-fleet version of this ship. Sort of a joke that this ship has, a cost of $150 or $300 depending on when you buy the lifetime, and you still have to go out and get the You still have to go out and pick up a fleet ship module to actually get the full ship. So the T5U. And you can't get the ship through the sea store. You have to go to the ship tailor. So destroyer. Car is very loud. Where is it? I also do not have the trade-off of the just standard E6 version of the ship. I just never really cared about it. Eagle, that console. Hopes all of them become legendary soon. Yeah. Thomas did also tease. I didn't show this, but let me pull it up quick. Thomas. So I'd mentioned he's working on a new variant of the Manticore, and he did tweet out some pictures of it. He retweets a lot of things. Let me find it here. Did I go past it? Okay, so yeah, here's the remastered Manticore skin that he's working on. So the Chimera remastered skin went live, but the Manticore one is still being worked on. I am still unfamiliar with Isomags. What did they do? They give you weapon power. Rich Life full phaser ISO build. Let me get the Damos on here, the Phaser Lance. Get the Excelsior 2 console on here. Is it experimental? Yep. Let's see, what else do I want to get on here? Gotta have the DPRM on here, right? Don't need it, but I am gonna put that on. If I can find it here. Also do the point defense system, just have all the phasers shooting out of the ship. One of those days where I am looking for things and just not seeing them. And point defense, torpedo launcher, there we go. Does 6 ISOs beat that 7 Spire attack consoles? Yes. Keep in mind, it's actually 6 for 6 because you would have the Lorca console on. So, gonna do phasers here. And what I'm gonna do is the Terran phaser beam array, because that is just the single best phaser beam array in the game. I'll do the wide arc. The wide arc from the Discovery reputation. For the torpedo, I will do the Maelstrom because the Maelstrom is just... it's very, very powerful. And for the other beams here, I do have those phaser narrow angle beams. I'll put one of those up front. And then for the aft ones, I will do the Trilithium Omni, a sensor-linked Omni, and for the third one here, could do the KCB and put the assimilated module on if I want to do that two-piece. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do that. And for this, I'm going to replace the point defense turret here with the assimilated module. This is not going to be the most high-end, perfect DPS build ever, but it should be fun. For the experimental weapon, there's a few different options. The psionic resonator from the Cyclone does well, but the one that I think is still going to perform the best is the plasma bombardier thing from the Gorn Hunter. But I think for the theme here, that probably is not going to look too good. I don't know. What experimental weapon should I go with? Got most of the ones that matter. Yeah, I can do beam overload. The Terran one. I have that here? I think that's like torpedo. I don't actually have that. I mean, the default one that I would normally just go with would be Soliton, but voice, I've got Voice of the Prophets right there. Okay, let's go with that. And I apparently need to re-engineer it. I run crit D damage for the epic mod and then damage for all of the other modifiers on my weapons, so I'm going to reroll this quick. And hope that the game is nice. There it goes. Let's see here. Am I almost out of devices? I think so. This last one here, the Space Field Mon. Ravager Shriek is really good. Yeah, Ravager Shriek is better than Voice of the Prophets, but I'm just going with what you guys want here today. And for the Deflector Engine Core Shield, I'll just go with the standard. Yeah, the Fleet Colony Deflector, competitive rep engines, and then Disco Core and Shield. Okay, I'm gonna go up to space. Yeah, no problem, short. Common Mark 1 Polaron beams. Terrible. Yeah, Ravagers from the prior winter ship. I should also get SCM open here quick. Yeah, the Isomag market has taken a beating, and it is going to take an even worse beating in the next week or two. From what I'm hearing, there's going to be a new promo ship, most likely, which makes sense. So that market is going to have a lot of saturation. Trying to not get Windows to try and make that take up the full screen there. There we go. Okay, so I'll do Phaser Beam Overload, which is what everyone seems to want in this game. So Emergency Powered Weapons 3, Emergency Powered Engines 1, and then I'll do an Aux to Sif 1 here. And over here, I'll do Attack Pattern Beta 3, Beam Overload 3. I'll keep the Cannon Sky to Volley on there. And for this, I don't know. Thinking about it. Can do Chemo 1 there, but I already have Chemo on, so I guess distributed targeting. Now, if I want to do Torp Spread 3, then I would convert this Lieutenant Commander over to attack. So let me do that here. Zero attack 2. I guess Emo 2. This last slot, not really anything that I don't already have slotted, so attack team that I'll never actually hit. There we go. What about the Terran repeating warhead launcher? I don't have it on this, or I don't have it unlocked and upgrade on this character. Terrible, Rob. Yeah, I'll be playing Destiny 2 later, don't you worry. Could do Uncon, yeah. I mean, if I go like this, if I drop the torp spread down to a 2 and I do chemo 1, then I turn this back into a psi, so SRO psi 1. So yeah, I mean, I can even put a gravel on, make that a bit easier. Do scramble sensors, jam sensors, and then over here have a tractor beam 1, and then probably just do like a photonic officer for some cooldown redundancy. And then here, this can be like distributed targeting. So I mean that would work. I don't recall of any issues with Uncon or not Uncon, Chemo 2. And for the traits here, I see that it is all pretty much scrambled, but let me save this loadout before the game decides to just randomly redo it. Okay. Calm before the storm is good. Emergency weapon cycle. I'm going to take preferential targeting off here. Can do overpowered, overgunned if I want. Ship the line. I really do like that trade off of the Legendary Avenger. That trade's been pretty good so far. Take SAT off. Super Weapon Ingenuity's on. Put Terran Goodbye on for the crit chance. Ruin for the damage buff. Yeah, that's, I think, pretty much everything that I would need here. Yeah, UD, Super Weapon Ingenuity, Ruin, Terran, EWC, Ship the Line, Calm. I think that's fine. Intriguing, how's it going? And I think my personal traits look good here. A trait that I don't see a ton of people take advantage of with beam builds is Symbiotic Ice. This gives you additional damage based on what your beams do. So basically takes 6% of what your beams do and deals that to the target as cold damage. Pretty good. Make It Go is not needed on this build. I'm just looking through here, seeing could do beam training, but is there anything else? Oh, Uncon would obviously be good. Okay, I think that's good for the traits, and for the specs here, I'll do Intel primary, Strat secondary. Yeah, and it triggers 5 magic, yeah. Yeah, Symbiotic Ice is good. I don't know why people don't run it more, to be honest. And now's the, I think the duty officers are probably good. I'm not even going to worry about those. But the tray now is the fun part. So I always put my firing mode up front, so beam overload in this case, and if I have a secondary firing mode like a beam overload, I keep it, or if I have a secondary firing mode like the torp spread on this build, I'm going to keep that far behind with a couple abilities in between. That tends to help with the misfires a little bit. Just going to get this stuff up on my tray. I'm going to put the Aux to Sif on my tray also, just because that works for Boimler quite well. Yeah. Tachyon inversion beams. This, okay. A lot of things to put on my tray here, so just give me a minute. You guys know how this is. brace for impact. Remark. Focused frenzy. Fighting. I'll put my uncons on the tray here too. For these uncons, for the most part, I am just going to manually activate some of them, but I will have a couple others on another one of my spam trays here. I am going to manually activate the Gravwell, though. I like to have that type of control over Gravwell. I don't like to just let it go on its own. It tends to be a recipe to have a mess. I think this is just about everything. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that matters right now. So let me resave this. I fix my power levels, everything into weapons, and then the rest into engines. Okay, that is saved. Now it's time for some content. Okay. Let's start off with the patrol, just make sure everything is fine. So I'm going to do a Wanted Argala on Elite difficulty. Billy, how's it going? Maelstrom's on auto fire, just even reading that. Just painful. I forgot to start the combat log. Okay, so the parse is only going to be for the other phases of this because I forgot to start it.
You haven't. Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding. Concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them. Whittle down their numbers. We will not go quietly. You will stand down. Surrender to sensor guard. Sensors are picking up small habitations in some of the asteroids, possibly consistent with multiple temporary hideouts. We do what we want.
Beam overload misfired, so damage number is a bit lower.
Picked up a tight beam transmission on a new frequency. We're jamming that spectrum on their comms now, but it was probably a call for assistance.
I'm gonna not kill that. I thought it would.
I'm taking you with me.
The activation time on the console or the phaser plans thing there sort of sucks. I'm spamming my fire weapons key way too much. I can hear Chell being disappointed right now. Yeah, I mean, not exactly the fastest Argala.
Take the suspect into custody. Thank you for your assistance, and welcome to this sector. We recommend that you get underway and head for secure space. The Kazon. We have the
Okay. Performance is terrible, like any other beam overload build, but I think it's good enough to take into an infected. Do I ever use preferential when I do the favorite firing mode here? You can, but with this build, with me making the Lieutenant Commander uni a science, I would have to drop the torp spread down to a torp spread 1 if I wanted to do that. Private ISC? Oh my. You just hate me, don't you, Voyager? Is there a 10 forward today? No, the 10 forwards only happen on Tuesdays. Gobi. Okay, got room for 3 for Infected Space Elite. Who wants to join in? Atrias. Axel, Waldo. Okay, there we go. Okay, Atrias. And Waldo, are you in game right now? Let me. Got a great new carrier team support build. Nice. Same time the tractor beam comes in. Yeah. Yeah, the flagship attack computer and Dominion targeted synchronizer are both amazing support consoles. Ready now? Okay. We all good to go? Axel, did I invite the wrong character? Stormlands. I don't think they would give us a Borg ship. Would they? Nah, they did comment though, Stormlands, that the Borg assimilator was like more likely to become a playable ship than the other Borg ships. That was on the one of the recent 10 forwards, which I covered in the news video. Spencer, beam overloads. No, beam overload builds are fine. Like if that's what you like, then go for it. It's just keep in mind if you're like chasing DPS numbers, top of the table type stuff, single target energy weapons, whether it be surgical strikes, beam overload, cannon rapid fire, they don't perform as well as AoE. But if you enjoy running a beam overload build in content, like beam overload can get you through anything that this game has. It's just that if you're chasing DPS numbers, area of effect builds are king. Single target builds do fall behind. Okay, infected, here we go. The question is, how, if they do release that assimilator, like how would they do it? Is that going to be a premium, ship? Are they going to make that one you have to pay quite a bit for? Or would they, go in and make this a, like a free event ship? I think that's the question. But the wording from Kale there did sort of indicate that that's a ship that we probably will get a player flyable version of at some point. And again, that's something Kale, himself, like, was saying on the 10 forward, or one of the devs. Okay. The activation time on this Phaser Lotus Lance thing is garbage. If I was actually like flying this ship long term, I wouldn't use it. Anything that has a long activation time that makes it so you can't fire your weapons until that activation time is done is immediately like a just probably like a thing you don't want to use. DPS, nothing amazing. Oh, did not mean to close it there. Expand this here. So 813k there. Maelstrom did 168k of that. Phaser beam overload. There are several different phaser beams on, so you can see the numbers there. Emulating Phaser Lance 51k, or basically 52. Voice of the Prophets, not the best experimental weapon anymore. It did 46k. Cutting Beam 44. The Excelsior 2 console did about 40k. Symbiotic Ice did 20k. Phaser Lotus did 16k DPS, but it also did lower my damage output from my weapons because of the activation time on it. So again, even if I was using this ship, I would recommend to not use the Phaser Lotus. Yeah, nothing else there. Yeah, thank you all for joining the run. Yeah, you said not uploadable. Yeah, they still have not fixed that issue with the Borg or with the infected map. So like Thaleron is its own thing, and the thing with Thaleron is that almost nobody should actually be going for it. Thaleron is one of the most powerful things in the game, but it is also something that you need like the entire team set up for to like you need everyone in the run to build around it, basically, and like taking it into just general gameplay sucks. Is the Gorn better than the voice? I have had 3 times the DPS numbers from the Gorn than I just got from the voice there. It depends on the build you're doing, and the Gorn does do better with the plasma build. Yeah, I'd mentioned that, Cheops. Cryan did mention that they're looking into team ability activation times. Hello from the USS Starkstar. How's it going? Using CSV build for long 10 plus years and want something easy. I mean, if you're used to a CSV build, I don't like any. I think anything else is just going to make the content longer for you. What is the best non-Gorn experimental weapon? The Psionic Resonator that came out earlier this year on the Cyclone does well. The Zankethi Sheller does well. The Salton Wave Impeller off of the Rising Corvette in the Mud Store does well. I think the Salton Wave Impeller is still the favorite for a lot of people that don't have the Gorn. Am I going to join the Stowwiki carrier party? I'd seen that they had an event going on, but I haven't looked too much into it. I've been busy with other things, and I will admit that I have been spending a lot of time grinding things out in Destiny 2. Along with McStud, Nick, Rob, and Cables. Been doing a lot over there. Yeah, the Gorn experimental weapon is the what's it here? Plasma Incendiary Bombard. It has a really nice plasma dot effect also, or a nice interaction with the plasma trait from the Gorn Hunter. It's just really good. Not sure about the obsession with Thaleron. It's impractical at best in general. Yeah. Her procedure is, I think, near the end of this next week here. Still a couple days out. I don't remember the exact date. this ship will be the fleet, or the Chimera, Manticore, and the Lifetime ships do work as torpedo builds, but they are not the most effective. The issue is right now the meta for torpedoes is currently the Eagle, basically. The Terran Eagle that released in the C-Store earlier this year, with that 5.1 setup on it, and the console on it having a huge cooldown reduction effect for torpedoes when you have the console on a full commander pilot ship. It is just such a good platform. And then there's also um, the stealth torp bombing effect where you use, what is it? The trait off of the legendary Talus. Gotta look it up here. It's been a while. Assault Formation Theta. Yeah, so the Eagle has the enhanced battle cloak on it also, so it can do Assault Formation Theta spam. It just is such a good torpedo platform. It basically, as soon as it came out, it became the torpedo meta. We tried the Chirax. I tried the Chirax. When we were still doing runs, I did try the Chirax out, and I mean it did okay, but I think what I had to do was I dropped the Dark Matter Quantum on it for the Maelstrom. The Chirax is like the other platform you would look at if you were doing a like a pilot, like a high-end pilot torpedo build right now. Because the Covert Warhead Module console off of the Eagle has an effect on it where if the ship is a full pilot ship, which the Chirax is, then it will set to the shared recharge time of your torpedoes to half a second versus 1.5 seconds on every other ship. Aside from the Chirax and the Eagle, though, the ship that I really did enjoy using as a torpedo platform was the World Raiser. I don't remember the number I got to with the World Raiser. I want to say we had a run where it was like in the 2.3 to 2.5 range. But the World Raiser just has a lot of brute force behind it. It does really well as a torpedo platform. And the traits, of course, have messed up. But it's a really good platform for energy weapons, torpedoes. If you're not going down the Eagle pilot torp route, then the World Raiser is probably like one of the top torpedo options right now. The Temporal Light Cruiser still works, Dwayne, yeah. But the World Raiser is like a better version of that. How about the Bortiskew? The Bortiskew can work as a torpedo platform. It's just I haven't bothered to set it up as a torpedo platform because I've just been burnt out on torpedoes. Like one of the big things with torpedo builds is their main area where they are effective is elite content. And the vast majority of stuff Cryptic throws at us is not elite. I do not like taking a torpedo build into normal or advanced content. I find that it is not a very fun experience. You're much more effective in a traditional energy weapon type build in that lower difficulty content. Steven, how's it going? Yeah, I've been doing a lot with plasma. My plasma Dalkina build I've been having a ton of fun with. I was talking to Steven last night, and we were talking about the legendary Doderidex, and I think that's a ship that I might pull out here again at some point. Not today, but that is a ship that I think I want to take another look at. Now, been doing the fleet lifetime ship, if I can find it again. Carl. I did a poll, asked people what they want me to do on the uh, the fleet version of the Chimera, and just that's what I've been using so far. Yeah, it's just the issue is that there's even some elite situations in which things die too fast or torpedoes. So if you're even having that situation in some elite content, the issues with like concentrate firepower being the main way that you continue firing lots of torpedoes, um, that starts to become an issue in that lower difficulty content. We are getting swarmed, I know. I'm gonna swap the experimental weapon out. Let's do something different. The Theseus one I got a couple months ago, but I'm just not impressed by it. You guys mentioned the Ravager Shriek. Where is it? Just gonna have to search for the name here. I thought I had it right here. Apparently not. Okay, let me just grab something else then. Let's do the Psionic Resonator. That one performed well. Yeah. Terran Task Force Disruptor weapons, they're good. The Terran Beam and Dual Heavy Cannon are best in slot for a good reason. A performance facelift is, yeah, that would be nice, Microvax. Um, the Maelstrom Torps have basically become the only torpedo I use on most builds. If I'm not doing a full torpedo build, then the only torp that I slot on a build anymore is the Maelstrom. It's just too good. Like it is too good with its damage output versus other types out there. And my tray apparently has scrambled because I dared to change ships. You just saw it flash to the correct tray configuration there. And now I'm going to go to ground and go back up. Dismiss the shuttle. I like the shuttle. The shuttle's nice. Kabali Samsar Fall build. That just sounds like time for me to hate myself. Because the Kabali Samsar is terrible. Discharge. Okay. Goodbye, Scorpion Fighter. Terrible. If I like the shuttle so much, do a shuttle TFO, I'll pass. Pass on that one. Both loadouts are still bricked. Unfortunate. Okay, let's go to another beam overload type ship. Where's that Excelsior 2 at? I just want to see if the loadout's broke on this one too. But, you know, flying the Excelsior 2 itself is also pretty fun. It worked. The loadout actually worked on this ship. Amazing. A loadout on a ship I haven't touched in several months, loaded right away. This is going to do about the same as the other one, so I'll just bring this in. Brilliant Blade, how's it going? It is immersive. This is a very immersive ship. Okay, I'm going to kick everyone out of the private here. And what I want to do next is a Guillotine Elite. So Guillotine Elite public queue. If you want to join in, I'm just going through the public queue. Guillotine Elite, it's a pretty fun TFO. I don't know. The Sovereign class just feels very neglected in the game. There's the pop. Haven't actually played Guillotine yet. Yeah, the Sovereign class, you would think, given its popularity, like they would have a solid version of that in the game, but they don't. Like every version of the Sovereign just feels so underwhelming. Like we have a 5/3 Juggernaut World Raiser. Why can't we have a, like a nice meta compliant Sovereign? No. E6 Obelisk? I haven't heard of anything about that. Just looking at Discord. Yeah.
The enemy has started to bring their unicomplex into your dimension. We will stop this.
Oh, I didn't upgrade this ship to X2. It's terrible. So this build is surgical strikes with phaser beam arrays, and the torpedo on it is the Maelstrom, because I think the Maelstrom is just insanely good. Yeah, I mean, the fact is the Galaxy was meant to be more of a, an exploration ship, and the Sovereign, was built to be a bit more aggressive, given the Dominion War and all that, so it just never made sense to me that all the versions of it in Stowe were so weak. Oh, I'm gonna die, aren't I? I'm dead. I forgot to put survivability on. Yeah, this build, I forgot to put any survivability on. Oopsie. Yeah, fix that. I do have DPRM on, I just didn't see it on my tray. Okay.
Borg spheres can intentionally overload their warp cores in battle.
So DPRM just was not on the tray. There we go. pretty much just wasted my maelstrom there. Okay, so for this part, this phase, remember that there's going to be some assimilators that spawn in once each point completes. You have to kill them before they can escape. If they are able to escape, then we fail. I'm fighting the mirror board right now. The cubes at the end of this are much tougher than the traditional board cubes we go up against. They do have a couple more abilities than the normal board. Also, guys, we got to fly around to the points here and activate them. So each of the points that has a number, fly to it and activate the stitching anchor. I did not bring a build with much survivability for this. Oh, it's too close to that sphere. Yeah, one thing with the Mirror Borg is one of the ways that they are more challenging is that they have a stronger warp core breach, basically. It's a detonate instead, and it does do a bit of damage to you, so if you're low, it can mess you up. I need to stop this adapter. That Excelsior 2 console is so much fun. Oh, we got an assimilator about to escape. I didn't even notice. Right. Yeah, I should have brought in something a bit better for that. It happens.
A Borg assimilator has escaped. We have failed to contain them.
Yeah, it's... With that, you have to keep paying attention for the progression on the stitching anchors, because if one of them completes and it spawns in that assimilator, if that assimilator gets through, you're done. Like, you fail. Yeah, it was a skill issue. I was flying terribly. It's fine. Just got to bring in a higher DPS ship here. I do need to do plasma damage. I also need to do disruptor damage on ground, harvest material space. I don't remember microvacs, to be honest. I don't think I ever tested that. Let me go into a ground patrol here quick. I get my disruptor damage done. Go. 10,000 disruptor damage. I need 50,000 plasma damage in space, and I also need harvest materials, so let me get that done quick. Sailor on terrible. I wonder, is my fall setup for this have a bit more survivability? Not really. The setup's old on this ship. Go here. Let's see, let me bring something else out. Terran Eagle. Update them. Nick, how's it going, man? How long until you're back? Hopefully this afternoon. Nice. Need to get 6 harvest material in space, so what I'm going to do for this is just go into Japori, scan the 3, leave the map, and then go back in. When the map loads, that is. Guillotine, when the walls fell, winter ship did he acquire terrible chips. Sometimes the map loads do take a little bit of time. What winter ship? I don't know. I don't know anything about the winter ship. Other than it's a ship. Bill Monk, how's it going? Yeah, the issue with the lifetime sale is like there hasn't been like a really good public statement to declare that the game, isn't going anywhere. We know it's not, but they need to actually say that. That they need to get someone at Embracer to say that, like that Cryptic's existing products are going to be around for a long time, or that Cryptic is going to be, focusing on maintaining their, these older games for the next several years or something. I don't know. But like the inaction that we're currently seeing, the lack of a statement is just not good. It's just making the situation worse for them. Anyone else getting ads? It's YouTube automatically inserts ads now. Have fun, Nick. Yeah, I know. on brand for them. The communication with the Cryptic has always been terrible. It's not something that is a strong point for them, that's for sure. Would I believe such a statement? I mean, I know that there's some exciting new things incoming um, that are definitely going to make some people very happy. What exactly those are, I can't say, but I think that they need to have some statements out before that stuff drops to let people know, that hey, there's still some exciting things incoming for Stowe. 2024 is looking like it probably is going to be a pretty solid year for Stowe, but they have to say something. They're not. To help sustain your gold selling business, terrible. I did see comments on Reddit. I don't think I talked about this on stream last week. I think it happened afterwards. But there was a Reddit thread stating that any of the content creators for Stowe that were talking about the layoffs should be banned for being negative about the game. Some people are delusional. Like, I think I put this in a group chat with some other creators. Let me find it here quick. As soon as I saw the thread, I was like, this is going to get nuked. I need to get an archive thing done for it. So the person that made the thread deleted their account like within minutes apparently. But they basically said that Cryptic should ban negative YouTube creators. And down below in the comments, they linked to some of the creators' videos that they think, were negative about the game. And the videos go to myself. I gotta. But basically, it was videos from Goss, myself, Triz, and Stu1701 saying that we should be banned for talking about the layoffs because it's negative news. Like, what? I know some people think Goss is negative about the game, but I don't think any of us, even Goss, have really been that negative. Stowe does a lot of things monetization wise that are really bad, and there are plenty of things someone could be extremely negative about with this game that would deter people from coming into the game. But I don't think anyone's really went that far in that direction. Now you've said it, you're going to be banned. Terrible. Terrible Cheops. Trizander. Well, some of it's just a meme. I think Triz's casualness and just dedication to Stowe, some people don't like. Yeah, that Reddit thread was calling for Stu1701, myself, Goss, and Triz to all be banned. Okay, I need to do the EPO thing. Triz is also ruining the servers with his, yeah. Triz's inventory is nuts. Banning negative opinions is just dumb? Absolutely. I understand the Twitter comments I made probably were not timed best, but I even with that and those comments there probably being a bit insensitive with the time frame of them being stated, I don't think that was anything, that would be like a ban worthy. Ban worthy would be us, like directly attacking developers, but nobody's done that. I'm getting the universal done right now. The cat charm is actually pretty handy for this too. There were also comments that I am a gold seller, and I did think about doing a video like responding to accusations and things and talking about that Reddit thread and those comments. But to be clear, I am not actually a gold seller. I do look at player auctions, and I've stated that on stream before, but I look at player auctions and other gold selling sites to get an idea of what people are actually going for. It's a way to do like market research, like, what ships are people actually buying? That type of research can be used for like deciding what type of ships to focus videos on, what I should focus, market plays on, things like that. It's not just because I look at a gold selling site doesn't mean that I partake in that activity. And I'm probably one of the most hated people by gold sellers, to be honest, because I think I've probably done more to harm gold sellers in this game than Cryptic has in the past several years. Like outside of even the Starbase 1 thing, there's been some other things that I've reported to Cryptic over the years that were pretty big. One of the big ones that I'll say is there was a bug when they were doing the overflow changes a couple years back, where you could force a lockbox to only open when you would get a ship. I immediately, like within 15 to 20 minutes of that patch, I contacted Jet privately and was like, yo, this is pretty bad. And that got sorted out pretty quickly. And from what I understand, some bans did go out regarding it. But they did also leave that in for a week. So there was probably some accounts that got away with it. Because it was related to a previous exploit that had been found, Warp Core. I basically was like looking at how that had worked previously and was like, okay, does it work with this? Found out it did and was like, yep, that's got to be reported immediately. So the exploit at the time just involved you having your inventory full and your overflow bag full. And then the only thing you could get from the lockboxes was things that could stack with things in your inventory. That was literally the extent of it, and they did fix that after a week. And like I said, from what I understand, bans did go out for it. Let's see here. Let's do some more content. Let's do something that can get some more people in it. Let's do a Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced public queue. 10-player queue. Good for some marks. Casual gold seller, terrible. I do make money off of Stow, just not through gold selling. Get it from doing videos about Stow. Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced public queue if anyone wants to join. Yeah, there's a lot of things that slip into the game that they don't intend to have slip in. Um, this recent patch is a good example of that. This was supposedly just a back end patch, but it ended up being 2 gigs. And publicly, we've already seen that it had that new Chimera skin. It had the Mir Gagarin added to the Mud store, but they did pull that. There's a partial sale active in the Mud store right now that I imagine is not intended. But there was just a lot of things, that went live that weren't necessarily meant to go live. Crystalline Entity is going to have a bad day? Yeah. The space items in the Mud store are currently on a sale. There's the Mir Gagarin, so it showed up again. Yeah, Mir Gagarin, not supposed to be there. The space items here are on sale right now. The ground items are not. No. Yeah. Yeah, the Mir Gagarin is a bit old at this point. There we go. Nice and fast. They have not announced a warp core. I still think, I know we've talked about this before, but I don't understand why there is not like a Wolf 359 TFO. Why, they've got a really challenging Borg cube in Guillotine right now. Why don't we have, a single big Borg cube that we have to fight that is, basically just a big target that a bunch of people have to work at taking down? Like, why doesn't that exist yet? Battle of Sector 001. Yeah, I mean, they've done the reenactment stuff in the past. Like, why don't we have anything like that? Large Borg diamond with multiple unannounced feedback pulse phases? Terrible. When will we get an account-wide ruin? I don't know. Voyager, I like to have channels there for theory crafting things for content. So just ignore any channel names that I have. Revamp Crystalline? Yeah. I mean, Crystalline, why isn't there an elite version of that, Axel, the Stowe team was like barely impacted. The the team that was impacted was working on this unreleased project from Cryptic, which I went over at the start of the stream. This entirely different. Like, the people working on this project were not working on Stowe. The people that were working on that other game Cryptic was working on, they entirely different. Like they're working in a different game engine. They're doing entirely different things. So the people hit by the layoffs, again, it sucks to see people impacted there. But with regards to Stowe, people that worked on Stowe for the most part weren't really targeted. What's my private Discord called? Spencer's Bunker. So it's the bunker, Gotta be ready. An elite crystalline, but with a Borg tactical cube instead of shards to make it probes? Yeah, I mean, it could literally be as simple as that. Terrible warp core. Is it pretty casual in the bunker? Yeah, there's basically like nothing ever said in there. So let me hide some of these channels so that Voyager doesn't go too crazy. But yeah, it's like I just post in here like, I got a crate, like a super container or something in warships, and I just want to keep track, see what I got. I got a channel, I'll put those pictures in. If I have really good, games in warships, I may, go in, take a picture of it just to, if I want to look back at like the replay or whatever. Basically what that Discord is for. There's not really too much in there. Show the super secret channels. No, I mean, this is like O game stuff, notes for videos, other notes for nothing. With how much work, terrible. That's not the real Borticus. Megala terrible. It's literally a troll, Mad Skills. That comment in the stream chat is a troll. It is literally a troll. Can't like click and view the channel, but you can probably click and view the channel. Yes, upcoming ship videos. Yes, yes. Yes. There's no leaks there. Yeah, there's nothing there. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Starbase 1 log. Starbase 1 log is just like tracking some of the bot accounts that were in there from back when I was doing that video. Looking at all that handles, things like that. Linus, how's it going? After the landing was long. Legendary Sovereign. Cool. Show the leaks for the legendary Kale Erbirth class. There are certainly hidden leaks. I don't know what you're talking about. If there were actually leaks, I couldn't talk about them. I'm sorry. The reality is, I can't show you guys. Maybe I should just do it. Are you guys ready to see one of the upcoming ships? It's a joke. It's a joke. It is entirely a joke. The whale probe is not actually being added to Stowe. Chris, did I see the photo you posted about Triz's warrants in his Discord? No, I did not. If it's in Triz's Discord, I haven't looked over there in a while. Is that like in Ready Room over there or something? Oh, that's neat, that ESD there. I should probably not be looking at a Discord channel directly on stream without looking through it first. I like it. Someone is going to believe it, most likely. I think last week or the week before, I had one of the channels named in that Discord as like a Miracle Worker Borg Sphere or something, and I don't think many caught that. I know Voyager did. It's basically sometimes I'll put stuff in there as a meme just to see if anyone catches it. Make it Borg cylinder. The whale probe is big. 17 warrants of hoarding. Yeah. Yeah, I think the whale probe could fit into maps. I mean, the compiler did. You know, I still have not like even actually flown the compiler. Sometimes that's just how it is. Just seeing some messages quick. I see all your comments, Voyager. Terrible. I did see another ship that would actually be neat the other day. Let me find it here. Twitter. Kale responded to it. I gotta find it. It was like a combo of an Oberth and a bird of prey. Yeah, Duncan Idaho did this, and it's actually pretty neat. Imagine that as like the next ship, Morello Birth. That's actually like it looks bad, but at the same time, that would sort of be neat, just for how out there it is. Yeah, the Lexington's nice, but the Legendary Avenger doesn't surprise me that it's hitting harder. The Legendary Avenger is just such a good ship. One shot kill all the map. I want that ship. Yeah, that would be a bit of a meme to put that in. You go in there, it has a console or something on it. You can't fire your weapons, but it just shuts everyone else in the map down. Terrible. It'd be awesome. It'd be a bit of a meme, but that would be interesting. Okay, I want to have another go at Guillotine because the last one was a bit rough. So the stream isn't going to be terribly long today because I have some stuff to do around the house. But I do want to get a Guillotine Elite in here. So Guillotine Elite public queue. Join up if you're interested. Terrible. Terrible Darth. Oh, and I showed this on the Discord the other day, but give me a second and let me grab something while we're waiting here. Okay. We're just talking about Starbase 1. I picked something up here. Guys, some of you have already seen this on Discord. And yes, I need a haircut. So let me turn the camera on. Some lights here. Oh, that lighting sucks. I gotta turn this light off behind me. But the thing that I got, Starbase 1. Nice little thing to have in the background. I didn't pay too much for it. There was a seller on eBay who had it up for 35 with then they were accepting best offer, so got it pretty cheap. I wasn't going to spend the like 60 that Master Replicas had it up for. Yeah, it's the Eagle Moss one.
When the anchor
Where are all the Jem'Hadars surrounding it? Terrible. So these the simulator things. These are the ones that Kale said could be potentially like be a player playable ship. I think it was Kale. It might have been one of the other devs. But on the 10 forward, they said that it's more likely we're going to see a playable assimilator than the other Borg ship. The question is then, what would the stats of this look like? Yeah, this is the Tank Eagle. I didn't like my lack of survivability in the last Guillotine.
deploy the stitching anchors.
Intel and a carrier? I mean, that'd be interesting if that's what they went with. I definitely, you know, with the Friendship having recently come out, I could see them, like, going for, like, more of a carrier theme next year. I mean, those pet consoles that we recently had, like, it would be interesting if carriers were more effective rather than what they currently are. I'm not going and activating the other ones just because you don't want to have too many of the simulators spawn at the same time. I'm just going to focus on this lane for right now, make sure it's completed as fast as possible. Terrible CC. I'm going to go after this assimilator. There we go. So one's about to go through, should spawn in right by me.
One shield is fully energized. Eliminated.
Where'd that assimilator go? There it is. Okay, there's, I think, another assimilator up, or did we get it? Yeah, this is the big thing with this map, is just the second and third phase, or the second phase here, you want to make sure to get the assimilators out as fast as possible.
Protecting shield now.
One thing playing Stow after playing other games, just the activation times here are so brutal. You hit things and they just... You feel it a lot more when you haven't played Stow much, you know, recently, is you just feel the activation times sort of suck when you're trying to get a lot of things to go off. Nah, it's just like things hesitate to activate. Yeah, the server performance really hasn't been that great, especially in like the past year, so the past couple, so it just, one of the main reasons that the DPS scene has died out is just that the servers for the game suck. Like, there's no other way to really describe it, is the server performance trying to do things in this game at a min-max level is just atrocious. There's an assimilator up somewhere. Did we get it? Oh, here it is. Just make sure we kill it as soon as this is...
Something is disrupting the stitching network.
Kill that assimilator before we take out the cubes, basically. There we go. Now we can work on the rest. No, the high-end DPS scene for the most part has died out. You compare it to like a couple years ago, you had like fanatics, cheaters, like all doing runs. Nowadays, you barely see people actually doing high-end runs. Like that community has just largely evaporated because people got tired of server performance issues, Cryptic constantly releasing broken things that required like table wipes to happen. You know, there have been points where it's like every new ship that they introduce, there's like a broken trader console on it, and that ends up being busted to the point that when they fix it, we have to go back through and remove like all runs from that time period. Like it's just things like that just really hurt that scene for like the DPS chasing. Yeah, like you have a lot of the people from Cheesers, from Fanatics, from B Team, who just don't even play anymore. And even Game Freaks, like Game Freaks, he's like fed up with everything. He's done these really big bug reports over on the forums and just feels like they're getting ignored. Like, the DPS scene's not in a good state. Yeah, the nerfs don't help. Bugs equal negativity, can't have that. Terrible. There we go. There's a successful guillotine run. Good job, everyone. I didn't have my parser or live parser up for that, but let's see how that went. I don't think I died in that one. So improvement compared to the first one. Okay. Attacks in. I mean, we're all spread around the map, so I was going to have like all the attacks in. But let's take a look at the port here. Maelstrom, of course, being the top damage source. So this tank eagle setup that I have is plasma based. Does use the Maelstrom, and it's heavily leaning into like complex plasma fires for the dot for that long-term damage on a target. Like I know that statement definitely is negative, and you know it's just saying it like it is, and there's not really a good way to spin it. Like, you have the end game scenes for the game, which have pretty much consistently been ignored by Cryptic, because one of the biggest issues with this game is that Cryptic doesn't understand the end game things that we do. You've got the DPS scene that really didn't have anything new for it for outside of like new traits or consoles for ages. You know, there have been some new maps introduced this year that I guess, you know, you could use for like DPS parsing, like the new patrols they put in, but for the most part, like there's no really challenging end game raids or anything to really challenge players at that skill level. The people doing like a million DPS, like the only thing that they have to do in the game, content wise, to keep pushing things is just try and do more DPS. So without really challenging end-game content for those types of players, makes sense that they'd get burnt out, you know, just doing the same queues over and over again. And for PvP players, you know, the Cryptic for many, many years just basically ignored the PvP scene. Jonathan does seem to be more engaged with it than the previous people on the systems team, but still, PvP in this game is not the best. But yeah, it's I try to keep a positive spin on things, but if someone asks me, you know, what is the end game scene like in Stowe? The harsh reality The harsh reality is that the end game for anyone that gets to that min max level, the end game for them is to play other games. That's not a very positive thing to say, but that is simply the reality of what happens to min max players in this game. Is they realize the lack of support for endgame stuff from Cryptic, and they go to games that care more about endgame. I know, not a very positive spin. That's just the reality of how this situation currently is. Um, what would be the most efficient way to get 8K or do the 10 tune daily refinement? Contraband still works. And Admiralty. You know, focus on like Ferengi and KDF Admiralty. Yeah. Well, it's just that Cryptic in general just doesn't really, when it comes to endgame things, they just that's not their specialty. Yeah, so what would I say about random queues? I think for a large subset of the player base, the random queue system is sufficient for them. But for like DPS chasers, people wanting to do elite content, you know, they don't have elite randoms in quite yet. But the other issue is with like random content is you can't really pug a lot of elite content. If you're not going in with a team of capable players into some content like Corfez or Journer Gauntlet, it's not going to be a fun experience for you. Like there's fail conditions in Elite, so if random elites just allow anyone at level 60 or 65 to instantly join, then it is going to be a rough experience. You agree? Just being cautious with it? Yeah. I mean, I think that there's potentially an interesting piece of content coming out next year that I have been hearing about. I'm not going to talk about it really much more than that, but if they execute it right, that might be something that could be good replayable content for us. It just depends on how it is executed. But again, that probably would just be like one content piece, not a ton of depth. Foundry 2.0 confirmed. Well, when it comes to like getting to lithium on alts, the best way is to just not do anything that requires a build. Like if you want to do that, if you want to set up builds on your characters, have a day where you focus, you get like, you know, 50k deal on this character, next day you work on another one, you get 50k deal on it to have it set up for the week. You know, you could do that. People do that, but for me, the approach that I would typically follow is, you know, I've got a character. Let's see here. This one on Quonos? Yep. The issue is Cryptic would have to keep track of like DPS. That's not something they do, and a gear score won't work. The gear in this game does not indicate your performance. Your skill does. So a gear score type system would be basic, but it would also still cause issues. Okay, so let's say I want some dilithium. Contraband still works, 2k. That could be 2k a day right there. Easy as just doing that. Now, you want to get more, you can do Admiralty. You can do, with Admiralty, the way that I would typically do it is if you have a lot of ships, you set the tier to just like tier 5 and 6, and you just select the first 3 ships in the list. Literally, that's usually what I would do. Just to get through the characters quick would be just hit the first 3 ships in the list, or 2 if I see that it's all good there. and try to click the ones that have dilithium, posted as the reward. Like, some of these will fail for sure, but enough of them are going to get through that you're still getting some dilithium out of them. Like, that this can take a minute or two per character, but doing what I'm doing right here, just going through doing that, I am getting some dilithium out of this. And if these are characters you haven't worked on before, um, getting the Admiralty levels up also does get you some dilithium. So if you get characters up to just about level 10, you sometimes you may want to just wait for there to be a dilithium event active, and then that dilithium you get from hitting level 10 in an Admiralty campaign is affected by that. Yeah, that's true. To do Admiralty, you do have to have a lot of ships. That is a downside to it. FS Draconis, yeah. Traits and consoles are some of the most expensive things to get in the game, especially if you're trying to go for a specific build and the items you're going for are off like lockbox or premium ships. It can get expensive. Hopefully me moving the microphone didn't go through the mic there. But it's important to emphasize you don't need that stuff to play the content. You can play the content with a completely free to play build. Stow itself is not a very challenging game once you understand that you need to activate abilities, turn your weapon power up, things like that. It's not that hard. The hard part is, for that harder content, is getting a good team. Yeah, you can buy a bunch of the T5 lockbox ships, absolutely. Yeah, isomags have there's been a lot of negative feedback about isomags from people saying that they're too expensive. But honestly, I do think that they have made things a bit more accessible, because isomags are something that you can go in and you can farm just by putting a ground build together. Minor instabilities, Hive Ground Elite, they're not very challenging queues, even on Elite difficulty. So you get a build together that can do ground content, and that opens the door to being able to farm a lot of those uh, components really, really easily. And ground builds, yeah, are very cheap. The isomag market is unfortunately going to be in a pretty rough state here in the next week or two. So I would definitely get your isomags posted now if you have any to sell. There will be an influx of supply. For what Warp Core said. And we all know how promo packs just drop those materials left and right. Terrible. What ship? A ship that people want. That's what Kale said, is that they're going to be revealing a ship that we're going to be excited about. So what ships would we be excited about? The Obina from Lower Decks, the Shrike, the Duderstadt. What ship? What ship would people be excited to have in the game? Shangri-La? Packlid Chimera ship? Promo Betting Strike? Borg? Terrible. E6 Constellation class? Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be, but I imagine it'll be interesting. I'm currently running a Viridian Beam Overload Paladin on a non-alien Romulan. I was very fortunate that I was given Boimler's personal trait, planning on the Gamma Vanguard expansion for Black Friday. FS, just note that the Gamma Vanguard expansion pack probably won't be at its cheapest price point on Black Friday. They'll probably just do a 25% sale. So if you pick up your Zen on Black Friday, well, there's that 20% Zen charge bonus, and then you wait for a 35% bundle sale. You should be able to get it for a little bit cheaper. No, Stow's up. I'm just looking at chat. I think I read something. Some people were having issues with Steam. Oh, I don't know then. I'm going to turn display capture off here for just a moment. And it did not show Stow. There it goes. Hold on. Reship. Save. Okay. So this is an upcoming project that I was working on. I started working on this a while back, and not everything about this is going to stick when I get to actually doing like the video for this. But this would be like my dream like do ship right now, and the theme of the ship in the video is going to be one of the Romulan ships from Picard, specifically. Where is it? This one here. This is the one that I was going to use as the theme for this like theorycraft build that I'm going to put together. And it is, basically the general premise of this is that, what would it take for a ship to be the top do like to replace the Dalkina, Inquiry, Vodwar Jug is like the top do ship. Now, some of the stuff I have here, bit excessive and definitely wouldn't happen, like the two universals right off the bat. But one of the big things is like do a 5-2-1, and for the bridge officer setup, Commander Merrick Worker with tactical, Lieutenant Commander Universal with intel, Lieutenant Commander TAC, Lieutenant Engineer, Ensign Universal. And I think when it comes to any upcoming ships, this is what I would use as like the baseline to see if they're, going to be a game changer or not for the like do play style. Because we basically already have like the perfect do ships in the game with the Vodwar Jug, the Inquiry, the Dalkina. So for a do ship to beat those, it would need to be comparable to this. And I'm curious to see if we get any upcoming ships that end up looking like this. Terrible. Prefer Intel Temporal for Uncon. I guess I'm looking at this more from just like a raw firepower standpoint for energy weapons. Like, I get the temporal intel suggestion, but for me, this is pretty much what I think I would want right now to beat like the Dalkina. You don't need RSP to reach out. It's terrible. Yeah, I went a bit crazy with some of the other concepts for this. It's way too powerful. Like it's way too OP with the trait and everything. The trait would be nice. It would be cool, but I don't obviously think that would ever happen. Improved override subsystem safeties. Yeah, so that's a video I might get tossed together ahead of the 10 forward. I don't know. I think that'd be a fun video. Just, you know, going over what makes ships good for energy weapons and what like the ideal do ship at the end of 2023 going into 2024 would look like. Um, can you run advanced TFOs with the T6 right out of the box? I mean, it wouldn't be optimal. You wouldn't have your consoles or anything, but yeah, I mean, you probably could. Can you all imagine a ship with like all slots for everything? And like, yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, Miracle Worker really needs a rework, I feel. Like, the only reason to run Miracle Worker is for the extra console. Ships that have a secondary Miracle Worker seat disappoint me. You know, I look at like the I mean, MAS is cool, narrow sensor band's cool, but I would rather just have the extra console slot, you know? Okay. I know this has been a fairly short stream compared to some of the recent ones, and that I just spent a lot of time discussing things here, but I do need to cut things short today. Um, just got some stuff to take care of around the house and all that, so yeah, indeed. Double Miracle Worker Science, terrible. Any other news for videos? Like I said in the members chat in Discord, every time I say that I'm going to work on a video, something happens that interrupts things. So I'm not gonna say explicitly when any video is going to be coming out. Okay, I will see you guys around. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good day.